the point I'm trying to bring over is the fact that, in part, it was my peculiar, the fact that paradoxically, my own formation as an individual and the strangeness of it that allowed me to see really what was relevant in Juan Carlos, and that would be the point I would emphasize. But it's paradoxical because it does involve an emphasis upon the uniqueness of my position within the educational system, but I think that is probably, it was an important factor.
Yes. And could you talk or take us through a little bit through your own break with your previous approach to the study of literature and culture, and the one you took when you discovered Teoría Historia de la Producción Ideológica?
Certainly. Well, to reiterate, I arrived at university a little bit older than the average student because of this rather indirect approach. I found university a bit of a problem. I felt like a fish out of water, to be perfectly honest. Because I was studying Spanish, particularly Spanish literature. And literature certainly raised middle class students that had a certain education. The university, I was at Bristol University, was very much an elitist university, so the students had come from grammar schools, fairly elite schools, and also from public schools. And they'd done a lot of reading, possibly superficially, but they had read a lot. They'd been to all the concerts, they'd been to all the art galleries, they'd been soaked in culture. As Bourdieu, the French sociologist, once said, there are no short courses in the humanities. You need a long course. And these students had a long course. And studying literature was all about acquiring a certain taste, a literary taste, as if literature was a kind of wine that one, yes. And I didn't have that. Because I hadn't had the advantages of that bourgeois education. I was attracted to actually linguistics. I remember I did a philology course, and on the course they gave a list of background texts. One of the texts was Leonard Bloomfield's Language. I remember reading that and thinking, that's a good one. I remember the chapter on the phoneme, thinking, leave all the literary twiddle-twaddle to one side. That is serious stuff as far as I'm concerned. And I thought linguistics is the way to go. And when I started doing research, because I was actually quite successful as an undergraduate student, I started doing research. I started working. I thought, I'll concentrate on the history of linguistics. There wasn't a linguistics department in the university, so I'll find out a bit about the discipline. I started on the 16th century, and I was reading Nebrija and Juan de Valdés, Andrés de Poza, Correas. I made a lot of progress in it, but I found, that I was able to describe these works, but I couldn't really explain them. I mean, where did these movements come from? Where did these schools come from? I thought, this is I'm in a blind alley here. I could describe, but I cannot explain.